Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, get it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, get it back when we done. I'll get it back when we done. 10,000 hands in the air, have you ever seen? Work 9 to 5 or 5 to 9, do you ever dream? They in the red, but my stalk is green. Proud like I reached the clouds, all off a beam. Dreams on lucid, films on Lucas. Sound on surround, and the crowd on stupid. Who that chick Dion? That's Dion on clueless. You circling around the money, sitting in a Cuban car. Feel the dreams, they said I'm too corny. Funny, I got their ears all on me. Fears all gone and my peers all wrong. So keep your 2 cents in every phrase y'all coining. That's just common sense. All the hating, I honored it. I don't leap, I quantum it. I don't answer, I problem it. I just drop shit while they asking what a colonic is. Pinky, you know what I'm pondering? Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in your head, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, get it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in your head, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, get it back when we done. I'll get it back when we done.
Today's video is brought to you by Sleeper. So you think you know football, huh? Okay, let's turn your football knowledge into real money. Download the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any other daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live stats. Pick more or less from predicted stats and you can win up to 1,000 times your money if your pick wins. So use the promo code CFO and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. So download Sleeper now and let's get this money, gang. What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Salute to everybody out there, man. It's Monday, and y'all know Monday is when we go live because we got a lot to talk about when it came to week 3 of the NFL season. Also has some college football stuff going on. So if you haven't already, y'all know the drill, man. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell so you do not miss out because we got a lot of football to talk about. Also, for all my audio listeners out there, CFO Sports. It's now on Spotify. It's now on Apple Music. Wherever you like to get your sports content, your podcast content, type in CFO Sports and you will find your boy Jay Tuck. But I know typically we talk about college football and we talk about a lot of different topics, man. But after yesterday, I said, hold on, Tuck. We got to go talk to Cowboys Nation because I feel like Cowboys Nation needs me right now, and there's a lot of questions that needs to be answered, but I couldn't just do this alone, right? I had to bring in my brother. Now, it was so crazy because I'm going through that video, the countdown timer. You know what I'm saying? We started this years ago, back during the pandemic. We were doing shows for 5 hours, 6 hours, shit, sometimes even 8 hours, just having fun, talking Dallas Cowboys content. So I had to bring him on because I know y'all got questions, and I know my guy is going to be able to answer some of them. We were up late last night in a Twitter space. If you haven't joined the Twitter space, you definitely need to check him out, man. But let's not hold him for much longer, man. My brother, BJ Nix, what's going on with you, dog?
Hey, man, what's going on, Tuck? I come here bearing gifts. Everyone watching Cowboys games for the rest of this year, when you going to issue one of these, okay?
All right, so what is that?
TV brick, okay? It's nice and soft. TV on there.
Yeah, I might need a few of those, man. I might need a few of those, man. Like yesterday was bad, man. We'll definitely talk about it here, man. But for those of you who are seeing my brother Nix for the first time, like I said, he is a pillar in this community. Has a brand new channel, The Star We Are, right? You said the sound. Y'all can't hear Nix? Y'all can't hear Nix? Y'all can't hear him? His audio is very low, so I gotta crank him up. All right, no problem. No problem.
Turn me up.
Let me turn me up. Let me turn Nick's up, man. Let me turn Nick's up a little bit. Let's get his audio right there. So for those of you who haven't seen my brother, man, he has a new channel, The Star We Are, right?
Yes, sir, as a star turns. Well,
as the star turns. All right, they say that we can't hear Nick's. We can't hear Nick's. All right, you know what? We're gonna do this, right? We're gonna pivot. Hold on, let me do this. This is what I love, right? You can't hear him. Don't worry. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him right. I'm gonna get him right. Let me do this. Put the headphones on. Let me crank up his sound. All right. Let me see here. All right, bang. Let's do this here. Let me come to Nick's audio. Because I hear him perfectly fine. I hear you perfectly fine, bro. But hold up 1 sec. Y'all still can't hear him?
Yo. Mic check.
Yeah, get Nick's turned up. I hear him perfectly fine. I hear you coming through my speaker. Hold up. We're gonna get you right, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get him right. Headphones. Check.
Testing.
Can y'all still not hear Nick's?
Check.
No.
Oh, man.
All right, hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me pivot. Oh, nobody can't hear Nick's.
Pivot.
All right, audio. Let me do this. We are going to the Roadcasters. All right, Nick's, now talk.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2.
All right, now can y'all hear Nick's?
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
I hear him just fine. Hold on.
We might just circle back, brother.
No,
It's all good. You live, I feel it.
We should be good, bro. We should be good because I'm hearing you just fine. I'm hearing you on the audio. I'm hearing you on my phone too. Hold on. I still can't hear Nick's. Test.
Test. Do.
Got him. All right, we back. Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? There we go.
Yeah.
Man. Sometimes you gotta go back and get cute with the headphones. All right, man.
Yeah.
So there we go. Now we rocking and rolling, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. We deeply appreciate y'all. Keep the comments coming. We got a lot of questions to answer. We definitely gonna dive in, man. But like I said, Star We Are, As the Star Turns, YouTube channel, man. And we're gonna talk about that title, right? Because you know what I'm saying, I kind of took something from that today and kind of want to build today's show around it, right? But next, man, let's go ahead and get straight to it. Yesterday's game versus Chicago Bears, the Cowboys suffered an embarrassing loss yesterday to Chicago Bears. We made Caleb Williams look like Pat Mahomes. So what was your thoughts, man, just watching that game, just first off, opening drive, how things kind of felt to closing in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we were going into it like, well, will the real Dallas Cowboys defense please stand up, right? Was it week 1 defense or was it week 2 defense, right? And then we heard a bunch of, well, it was really just communication. We're going to get that cleared up. We'll be good to go. And that's not what happened, right? I mean, obviously it was more of week 2 and questionings, if you will, than week 1. So, something that Holly said today was, why is there so many defenders with play calling risks on like 3 of them, right? And where it is and what's kind of going on there. I mean, look, we talked about that guy as a head coach over there, Ben Johnson, the student of the game. The thing that I was talking about all week was, look, when you looked at the tape of Philly and the Giants, Philly didn't call the same game plan that the Giants did, right? And that's why we didn't really get affected as burnt toast, if you will, even as we did against the Giants. I said, hey, but that guy over there in Chicago, he'll definitely look at that and try to exploit some things within that. He's just kind of that kind of diabolical play caller and play designer. And man, I mean, the slowest flea flicker of all time, floating back, catching it and still, nailing it the whole 9. So, we can stop the run much better than we have in a long time. We can run the ball much better than we've had in recent memory. But, the results have not been great for us the last 2 weeks. I mean, you got a dub, right? But, this week, the defense will be very bad.
Yeah, bro. And just like you were saying, I felt like we fixed the brakes but broke the engine. Like, okay, yeah, we
Yeah,
want to stop the run,
right.
right? You know what I'm saying? So I like our run defense. It's playing much better. But, bro, we're getting bombed for 500 yards a game. Like, that was never the intent. And, man, I sat back and I watched the film today. I only got like halfway through it, as much as I could stomach, right? So I kind of got busy. But I watched that it was the slowest developing flea flicker. So I probably understand why we got beat on it, because I probably would have thought, ain't no way they about to get that off. Like, even the toss back was slow and it was wobbling. Now, I will say this. Mozzie had one play, and if you want to watch that flea flicker, he exploded to the line, but it even threw him off a little bit, so he hesitated, right? But it's just that those are the things. And you hear Ben Johnson saying, well, we saw some things in our scouting report against their defense. And bro, what do you know how soft you got to feel like this team's defense is? It's like, we can get this flea flicker off. And Ben Johnson has been notorious for embarrassing the Dallas Cowboys defense. I mean, he had some more trick plays in the bag. He just didn't get them off, right? So
Right.
What is really going on? And like you said, man, the miscommunications. All I know, right? We have Kyer Elam. Okay, he's a new addition, but he had in full camp. So you had Kyer Elam. Donovan, you've been here. Malik, you've been here. Trayvon, you've been here, right? And even Deron
Sanborn knows the defense.
Right. You've been
here.
Right. Sanborn, you were supposed to be the communicator, so you should know the defense. Why are we having so many lapses on our defensive front? And let's keep it a buck, y'all. When you watch this Matt Eberflus scheme, it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. It's just simple things. So I'm not sure if it's a lack of focus, a lack of commitment, lack of coaching, a lack of personnel, right? A mixture of everything when it comes to this defense, but it's concerning right now. Go ahead.
I don't like hearing we need to simplify things.
Right.
I mean, that's not what I want to hear for sure. And it's like they don't understand the zone principles at times. I mean, you can't even look at the touchdown pass to DJ Moore. What is Hooker doing? Why is he moving over and following Caleb, right? You know, that guy just went around you. You have to feel that as a safety. Hey, I need to stay. He's in my zone, right? He's in my area. I can't leave that guy. And then, you know, we finally played man for the first time all year. Well, what happens? Diggs comes up to jam on 3rd and 8, slips, boom, by you go, touchdown. So it's almost like Murphy's Law. What can go wrong with this defense right now is absolutely going wrong when it comes to guarding the pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and Izaraku, Sam Williams, and another guy, zero pressures. James Hughes, I think, total of zero pressures on Sunday as well.
Goose-Egg. Yeah, I sit back, and I think that's going to be my newest film sessions on the defensive ends, y'all. It's so bad. I'm going to talk to y'all CFL gangs. Y'all don't know if y'all even want me to put this out, because it is bad when it comes to our defensive edge rushers. And I feel like I got egg on my face, I'll admit. Now, granted, this was before Micah Parsons, but hey, our edge room was the most complete in the building. You know what I'm saying? I felt that way. Like, okay, we got Micah, we got Donovan, Izaraku, who I felt was a good draft pick in the 2nd round. You brought back Fowler, Sam Williams coming off, Marshawn Nealon. Like, I felt like we were good at edge, to the point where I am massively concerned in the pressure, the firepower, the jumping off the line of scrimmage and getting off the ball. Like, it's just not there. Like, Dante Fowler, I'm not sure what's going on. He looks like a shell of himself, right? Donovan Izaraku, I thought he had a complete tool set out of Boston College when it comes to his pass rush moves. I've seen nada. You know, so it's just like, it's very concerning to me. And I know a lot of people are talking about, well, Clowney can fix that. Shotty's talking about, well, Clowney might need some more time to kind of get revved up. Like, bro, we don't have time for that. Like, we don't have time for you to get revved up and slowly get acclimated. We need you Sunday night, right? We need you Sunday night. But the Cowboys cannot get pressure, and our secondary is having miscommunications, and we're already limited as it is. That is a recipe for disaster when it comes to the defense. Now, I want to talk about another room, because this is something I kind of hinted towards, Nick. I know you did as well this offseason. You know, we kind of felt okay about it, but it wasn't great, and that's our linebacker room. So when you watch our linebackers, Kenneth Murray, Sanborn, you got, you know, Clark and Maris rotating. How are you feeling about our linebackers? Because Eberflus was supposed to have been the linebacker guru, right? And just doesn't feel that way thus far.
I just don't understand the deployment of Sanborn. And I talked about this before this game, but now I'm going even further, you know, and, you know, drive that nail into the coffin a little bit. Is I don't understand what the problem is with Leah Fowl. And you made a great point on talking about we need somebody to, whenever it says consistency, we need that follow-up question. Consistent where,
Right.
right? What exactly do you mean by where does it need to be more consistent at? Look, for all intents and purposes, Clark had a great camp. His first preseason game wasn't good, but the rest of the way was pretty decent for him. Look, I think Murray is who he was, right? We talked about Murray coming into this. Look, sideline to sideline coming forward, Murray can take care of that for you. Now, when he starts to go back, that's when he runs into problem.
Right.
Well, he is who he is, right?
Right.
And I know last week, I haven't looked at the stat counts this week. I think that's all 22. I know last week he played 100% of the snaps. Now, granted, from week one, without having a lot of camp with the baby born, didn't play any preseason. To week two, we saw the nice, he found his sea legs, right? A little bit. I'll see what it looks like this week. But I mean, at a certain point in time, like going into this, I think our idea when we were getting into the regular season that we were going to see more Leah Fountain. We were excited about that his rookie year to the year two, that little jump right from year one to year two. And we begin a whole bunch of Sanborn. And yeah, Sanborn just isn't it for me, And I always liked him as a rotational player. And, I even questioned as we were going through training camp, he was like, yeah, Sanborn. I was like, look, not sedition, he can facilitate here, but I was like, I'm more excited about where Leopold was going to be. And egg on my face there, as you just said, I didn't anticipate Leopold getting just the lead so little into the rotation on at linebacker.
Right. If you would have told me back in, let's say, April, right, that Damone Clark and Jack Sanborn is going to beat Maris Leopold, I would have took that wing bet. I'd have been SOL on some wings right now because I would easily lock that bet in because I feel like there was no way, right? And yeah, like I was saying, when it comes to this consistency word that Shotty tosses out so casually, seems like these days, right? What is it that he's not showing consistency in? And I feel like when it comes to Maris, right, there is no way, and maybe I just don't know anything. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a little bit, right? There is no way you can tell me it's up here that Maris isn't digesting the playbook, right? Maris coming from Notre Dame to even last year being tossed around in Mike Zimmer's complicated scheme. That's one
of the reasons Zimmer drafted him, right? Was like when they had the meeting and he knew what everybody else on the defense was doing.
Right. So there's no way that now of a sudden you just can't figure this out. So is it weight room? Is it size? Is it just he doesn't fit Eberflus's type? But I just don't believe it's up here thing because that's the one thing that everybody raved about when it came to Maris was his energy, his effort, but his IQ, and especially being under Eric Kendricks all last year as well. So I just don't. He doesn't seem like a guy that would have poor practice habits. Doesn't put it like so. I'm kind of confused when it comes to that situation when it comes to Maris versus it being more of a profile thing. So I don't know, y'all. A lot of people are saying, well, just wait till Overshown comes back. Y'all, that's Thanksgiving. We have a long, I'm saying? We have to get to
and how many snaps are you going to give him out of the gate? Right, you got to ramp him back up too.
Right.
Like he can just walk through the door. I'm like, all right, I'm here to play. 80% of the snaps.
Yeah, it's got clear yesterday. I'm ready to go. Like it doesn't work that way. We wish that it worked that way, but it just doesn't. Now, speaking of corners, I feel like the hot topic button right now is Trayvon Diggs, right? And I said this all season, right? Even when they got rid of Micah, Trayvon Diggs was going to be a marked man in Dallas. Dallas Cowboys fans were going to give him a very small leash. But when it comes to Trayvon Diggs, what do you think it is? Do you think he's just not in game ready yet? Is it? Some people say he's quit on the team when actually. So let me just get rid of that shit, right?
I think he said it himself though. Even at camp, was like after the injury, it's like it's getting over the mental side of it, and trusting yourself and getting back. And he said it takes typically a full year to come all the way back. You just haven't got to that moment with him yet. So I think it's just a lot of that in general.
Yeah, and see, that's what people don't understand. Not only is Trayvon coming back from the injury, right? But he came back a little early. I didn't expect him to come back that damn early, but he came back earlier than expected. And then you're tossing him out there versus Malik Neighbors and Roman Dunze, bro. Like that's the cream of the crop of the NFL. That's it's not like you're facing not the Jalen Tolbert. You're not like you're facing Jalen Tolbert and like kind of getting some revved up games. They are tossing him to the wolves because Deron Bland is out. So when you see that, I know he typically stays on the right side, right? And you have Roman Dunze over there. Well, Trayvon Diggs was questionable leading up to that game. He was damn near, out for that game. Why are you going to have him playing man press versus Rome with no safety help?
And then the weird thing too was on that Friday or Saturday, it was his left knee was kind of the report, and then Friday it came back, it was the right knee.
Right.
And I was like, well, that's conflicting as hell on what's going on. But look, I'm with you. I thought I didn't expect him. I thought he'd probably missed the first. I like saw the pup list is what I
Right.
thought. I mean, cool, he got out there, he's playing, but he's gonna trust it. You know, it's just like just like Javonte Williams, he's 2 years removed from his injury now, and you can
Right.
see him return to form
Right.
and where he was like he was prior to the injury. And you're just going to understand that and deal when you hurt the knee in that way. When it comes to Diggs, it's going to take a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what fans really need to understand. There's a difference between playing through injury and being healthy, right? You know, because like sometimes, like technically, CeeDee Lamb could have played, right? But he wasn't. You know, like you have to have that confidence. It's like, okay, bro, because I've been there in situations where I came back early from an injury and I'm out there running, but I'm hearing some pops. You know, like I'm hearing some pops. I'm hearing some squeaks in my knee and stuff. But you're still trying to go out there and play and trying to ignore it, letting the adrenaline take over. But you know, I can't. Man, don't. Hey, you don't cut that way, Tucker. You know what I'm saying? So you're playing that mental battle while out there trying to perform on the field. So I feel like with Trayvon, he's coming back early, right? They're tossing him to the wolves because technically right now he's cornerback 1, which if you had Bland out there, you can kind of hide him a little bit, right? But you can't do that in this case, and it's just a bad mixture of everything. Now, the safeties, Knicks. Is it time? I mean, is it time? Like, I don't know how many more hashtags. I don't know how many more videos we can make. I mean,
what's J-Ron Curse doing these days?
Yeah, I mean, right. But, man, you talk about vanish. J-Ron vanished. Like J-Ron, I think he got married last year or something like that. J-Ron, he did, you know. But yeah, it's just. I mean, hell, I'd probably take Xavier Woods. It's a spoonie. Oh, yeah, Xavier Woods. Like,
yeah, there you go. Yes, one of those Xavier Woods. Actually, I mean, we did see Wanya Thomas in a couple of plays yesterday. Finally, so I mean, there's that for what it's worth. It's just not good, man. Whatever they want to call it defensively, communication, simplify. Don't have the pieces to work this defense the right way. But I mean, at a certain degree, you have to understand what you're doing, right, when it comes to whatever type of zone you're playing and what you need to get after. And it's just not good enough. It's not executed enough. I don't see enough communication from the linebackers to the second core or the third level, excuse me. And it just kind of shows. So I think the problem here is after 3 games, we kind of understand what this defense is. I know there's a Clowney coming and a Bland's coming back. And look, shouts to Reddy Stewart. I think Reddy Stewart, who's stepped in here, has played pretty damn well for himself coming in here the last 2 weeks in the slot. But there's no real, we could talk about Overshown coming down, but I don't think there's really a definitive answer other than they got to look in the mirror and fix it. I just don't know if you have enough in the tank here to get it done.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get PTSD from coming in this game in 2020, right? It feels very Mike Nolan-ish. Remember Mike Nolan? They was confused with the multiple scheme, and they didn't have the 4-3/3-4. It's starting to feel very like that. A lot of communication issues. And here's why I'm concerned, because James asked a good question. Are you anticipating the defense to start clicking this year, or we just don't have the pieces scheme in place right now? I think that is my concern, because I don't think that we also have the talent to turn this thing around. We were already limited before the Micah thing even happened, right? But now it's like, okay, if you're trying to talk about the linebacker position, you know, I don't know, maybe you make that switch, and Shotty had mentioned possibly making changes on both sides of the ball this week, so we'll see what that really means, right? But it's like edges. Either you have get off or you don't. You know, like you can't scheme. You know, you're gonna maybe do some different stunts and twists. And they did run some of those twists yesterday, but it was still very slow develop. I think it was like one play they got pressure with James Houston running a inside stunt, right? But it was just, even with that, it was very clunky, right? So if you don't have the horsepower, that's where I'm starting to get concerned. And I just don't see how you can find that horsepower unless you can actually go out there, make a move. But personally, I wouldn't recommend that, y'all. I know a lot of people are saying we should go trade into this and burn those picks up. I feel like if we go and burn those picks, it's still not going to make that much of a difference, to be honest with you.
No, I'm with you there. I'm pretty much like, I'm not burning other picks this year, right? I mean, you're already down a third, so there's that. I said, now get through, handle business, and then that following draft, then we are that following season. Now you can bend my ear and talk, okay, do we need a piece to do something and maybe move those pieces? But right now, I just don't think it's palpable for him to do it.
Right.
Look, we've had this talk about the safeties prior to this season, though, right? Time and time again, and just kind of where it is. And I understand like where Daquan was coming in with like the big nickel stuff and feeling they could get over the hump using that guy and try to help in that run defense, even with that guy being up close to the line. It's just, look, we talked last year before Earfus got here, you know, and I'll reference the Giants game in New York or New Jersey, I should say, where they play. And Hooker gets the ball and he's running down the sideline and he gets hawked by, you know, a 6'6" country fed white tight end. And I'm like, oh, them Jets are gone. Like, you don't have any more giddy up, you know. And look, and there's no disrespect, right? I mean, he's had a lot of injuries in his career and where it is. He's a little bit longer than the two. And I mean, you got to have some type of anticipation and, of course, you know, speed on that end. I was like, man, it just, even in other things throughout the year. I remember the Baltimore game, he was standing in the end zone when the play started, and the running back led it at his feet. He was still in the end zone, you know. So it was just things like that on tape when it came to Hooker. We just kind of understood, look, Donovan is a missile coming forward, but Donovan Wilson's game has never been playing drop it, you know, going back and playing in space and coverage. That's never been his game.
Hitman Wilson.
Yeah, that part. Exactly. And, you know, so you're asking these guys within the scheme to do things that I don't think they're capable of doing, and that's showing its ugly head.
Right.
And look, we can always go back to, you know, it's why I always talk about coaches they're very ego driven in the way that they do things. Because, right, the idea should be, hey, okay, I should adapt what I do to the best of the abilities of the players that we have. Mm-hmm. But we see that a lot in the league and in college. Like, no, we're doing it this way because it's the way I believe it should work, and y'all just got to make it work. Right. And we're kind of stuck in that right now a little bit.
Yeah, and we always kind of go through that, and this is why it's problematic having 3 defensive coordinators in 3 years. We kind of went through that a little bit last year earlier on with Mike Zimmer, right? And so a lot of people I saw was saying, okay, why is Trayvon Diggs, you know, gambling for interceptions and, you know, playing out of phase? That's how he's made his money. That's how he's been coached the entire time since he's been here. And so now you're trying to have him change it. You're trying to change your golf swing, right? And we've all been there, whether it's your golf swing or your jump shot. You can do it temporarily until you miss a few air balls. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna kick my leg, right? My basketball coach, hey, I used to do this thing when I kick my leg, right? Like, stop kicking your leg. I focused on stop kicking my leg. One game I went 0 for like 15. Next game, what did I do? I started kicking my damn leg. You know,
kick that leg, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would kick my damn leg. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for Trayvon, if you're out there playing, you had the situation versus the Giants, like, you're trying to get back to what you do is great, right? And I feel like that happens with some of the players as well, but they're not moving in unison. There's so many just misblown assignments. People are wide open. And the scheme is not helping, y'all. The scheme where you're seeing back, and we can do the film session here this week, right? So much grass. I mean, I think Skywalker posted, Skywalker posted a photo, right? It was 3rd and 2. We were 10 yards off the wide receivers. Right. And it's just like, that's a simple pitch and catch, right? So it's just not adding up. And you get to a situation, like you said, Nix, the one thing Dan Quinn did when he came in from Mike Nolan, he changed up. He changed up and said, I have this, I have that. These players like to do this. Okay, let me build around it. He did not have this scheme and try to make the players to adapt, and it just didn't work. Now, let me ask you this. Is it fixable? Is it fixable, or is it
long-term fixable?
This year fixable?
No, I don't think so. Unless initially somebody Wanye Thomas is about to get a lot of playing time and is going to be able to be infinitely better than what they have back there right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you figure. Okay, if Leopold starts to get playing time and he's going to be infinitely better than what you're getting out of Sanborn. Okay, here comes Clowney. Can he, again, y'all know me, I'm a 3-level guy. I need somebody at every level here to make a contribution on this defense, particularly down the middle is what you want. Right. We're okay at D tackle. We need that linebacker safety to walk through, but can Clowney come in, right, and help this line get some pressure? I mean, if those 3 components can happen, then sure. I mean, can Bland get healthy? I mean, can he get healthy, right? Can you stay healthy for a little bit? Right. I mean, look, dear God, week 1, who do we lose? Bland. Week 2, we lost Cooper Beebe. Right. I talked all the way to the up. I said, look, every game we're losing a starter. Let's not do that this week. Right. The football god said, okay, Nick, you won't lose 1. You'll lose 2 because now we lost Lamb and we lost Booker. Right. So I'm like, goodness gracious. But yeah, if Clowney and they don't stay static and they give Wanya Thomas the opportunity, he can make a difference back there at the safety room and Leah Fowl. If those guys can do something, sure. If not, we'll see you next year. And the guy posted my first mock draft.
Yeah,
so
I posted
it's mock draft
season. Because here's the thing, y'all. I just don't see that spark plug, right? I just don't see that spark.
There's too many. You got too many ifs right now.
You got way too many ifs, right? And that's the thing. Like, remember when our defense was bad last year, right? And Micah was out for a little bit with his injury, right? He came back and he was just a spark plug. But even between that, like you said, at all three levels, you had Micah. You had Overshown for a little bit. You still had DeMarcus Lawrence before he went out, right? And then you had, we had Bland with the foot injury and Trayvon. But you had guys at all three levels that can have impacts, and even Eric Kendricks and Maris Leofow. But as of right now, our defense is strictly Clark and Osa. That's it. And
Osa's not getting enough. And I'm going to do the second. I don't think Osa's getting enough burn.
I mean, yeah, for the paycheck that Osa got, right, he needs to become that guy, right? He needs and I know you kind of said, you used to call him like baby Aaron. He needs to become like that, right? He needs to become more of that mold, because without it, it's just like, okay, I have Osa, Kenny Clark. They're in the interiors, but I know where they're at all times. It's easy, right? But who was going to be that chess piece, which is crazy, right? When we were watching some of those camp clips, we saw Sam Williams playing linebacker off ball, moving around, and Donovan Ezekiel Raku moving around and all. And now it's just stagnant. So where is the creativity? And what Matt Eberflus has to understand, if you don't have the players, right, the Jimmys and Joes to create pressure, well, your X's and O's need to create pressure, right?
Yeah,
so you need to just send the house, get pressure, mix things up, twist, stunt fronts. You're going to have to mix.
And he did that week one, Tuck, right? I mean, in the second half there, right? He started sending the slot blitz, right? Dick's first time he ever blitzed in his career. Oh, okay. And then this week, nothing.
Yeah, a little killing. Killing always gives a little flash or something, and then it would vanish, man. So yeah, so a lot of people ask me, Tuck, is it fixable? I don't know.
I don't think it is this year. I mean, again, if you want to roll the dice and say those three things can happen, sure, it can be fixable.
Right.
Bland and Dick's going to stay healthy the rest of the way. All right, Leofau's going to walk through that door and be who we think he can be at linebacker. Wanya Thomas is going to replace somebody on the back end and upgrade that, and Clowney can get this pass rush off the ground. Sure,
right.
It's fixable. That's an awful lot to ask after 3 games into the regular season.
That's a lot to ask for. Or they make some blockbuster trade, which I don't think they should.
Oh, well, there's that too. Yeah. Why not?
But honestly, I don't know who could save it. People are like, oh, Max Crosby, he wouldn't save it. I just don't think. And plus, ego of the gambler. You're not going to go trade for an edge rusher after you trade away your edge rusher, because that's going to say, hey, you just messed up. So no.
I mean, of course, I said it during the stream, and I'll say it again. I don't care. I go sign Justin Simmons tomorrow.
Yeah.
I sign him right now. Right. I bring Justin Simmons in right now. And then if you want to make another side quest move, go find me another linebacker.
Right.
But I know that's not going to happen. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why Simmons is still available. I don't.
Maybe he can't run anymore. I haven't looked at it. I didn't look at his tape because he played in Atlanta last year.
Yeah.
For Monsters purpose, I thought he played well, but I didn't do the work, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's something because he's not on any roster right now.
Right. Any roster, and it's the same with Gilmore, right? So I'm gonna go take a look and see what's going on. All right, so we spoke about the defense, Cowboys Nation. We appreciate y'all. Like I said, comment, like, subscribe, turn that notification bell. Definitely go give my guy Nix a follow on his channel over there. Does incredible work. Follow him on Twitter as well for the Twitter Spaces, because he goes nonstop, man. It's just a good opportunity for Cowboys fans to get in there and voice our frustration, especially after last night. I was kind of cool. The owner ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, there you go.
That's where I'm at. Now, I want to get over to the offensive side of the ball. Like, I feel like offense is kind of knowing coming this offseason, right? They will be able to carry us a little bit. Pickens, you had CeeDee Lamb. But I know you was very vocal about it yesterday, and so was I, of how CeeDee Lamb got hurt. And what they're saying, oh, Tuck, oh, Nix, when you look at what he's done prior, he is averaging 6 yards per carry. That is before he got his money, bro.
I do not care. I do not care.
I do not care. You do not play with your money player like that and have him playing the running back position, man. So when you saw, I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? They couldn't have been Turpin. They couldn't have been Miles. They couldn't have been Javonte, who was just going through the Bears defense like a damn tornado. They just had to put CeeDee Lamb in there and toss that wrinkle. So what was your thoughts about the play, man? And of course, ultimately it cost us 4 to 5 weeks.
I'm still pissed. I'm still bubbling over here a little bit, simmering, I guess is the term. I just and the problem is I understand why they did it, because okay, we were doing this with Turpin the first couple of games. He got a little nicked up in the second one, so now we're just going to do it with Lamb. Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Come on, bro. No, like I don't see Chase lining up in single back formation, Jamar Chase and getting handoffs.
Right.
Like, no, I don't want that. Like, if we can't get Blue into the field, fine, hand it to whoever. I don't care if it ain't gonna be Williams, and hand it to Sanders. Hand it to Hunter Lipke. He just got a payday.
Right.
How about give it to Hunter Lipke and do that? I'm not doing that. So, and bro, you're giving him a carry. We even tossed him the rock one time yet, and boom, and now it costs yourself. There's nothing about it. I like it. Look, if you want to use Turpin in those lanes, I understand that, because he's your third wide receiver. He brings speed, that a speed element that nobody else has on the team. You're looking for some homework capabilities. I understand that. But using your guy, a top 3 wide receiver in the league back there, no, I don't like it. I think it's horrible. And I know the only reason they did that shit, excuse my language, sorry, I'm still a little fired up about it, is that Turpin got banged up. So now instead of us doing that with Turpin, we're going to do it with CD.
Right.
Why don't you get some consistency out of Blue and get his ass on the field, man?
Right. There is no reason why CeeDee Lamb should be having more carries than Hunter Lipke and Jaden Blue, who was your 5th round draft pick. That's stupid to me. That was easily a throwaway carry you could have gave. You should have gave it to Javonte Williams, but you could have gave it to Hunter Lipke. You know, like, God dang. I mean,
exactly.
If I'm Hunter Lipke, I'm saying thank you for the free money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you got to make me do is lead block. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You gave me them bands. Hey, I appreciate it, right? But it's like, that could have easily, you do not have CeeDee Lamb. When he lined, I was like, why are we doing this, right? Like, it could have been a jet sweep, right? Or, you know, or a simple smoke screen or something like that, just to get the ball in his hands first. You know, like, it just didn't make sense for me. I'm not sure if Shawty was asked about it, but that's something you got to step to the podium and answer, because it doesn't make sense. Like you said, if Kevontae Turpin got nicked up, you don't say, well, you know what? I nicked up my little Ford. Let me do it with my Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Let me do it with my Lambo and drive reckless. Like, it's just and it's going to cost us, Cowboys Nation, because now we have to be in a situation with a bunch of wide receivers who cannot separate. That's a whole nother conversation. Jaden Blue has been a healthy scratch all season so far. We talked about this a little bit last night, Knicks. Are you over it? Do you just feel like, nah? You know, I'm maybe they make the change today, right? Because Shawty mentioned it. But for me, when I sat back yesterday, we were in the middle of Twitter space on the tailgate. They made Mozzie Smith active, but not Jaden Blue.
Yeah,
bro, you are buried on that depth chart. You are buried on that depth chart. You know, so it's just like, I don't know, unless something drastic comes up, they're going to make that change. So what's your thoughts on Jaden Blue?
Yeah, like, consistency, right? What's the follow-up there, right? We have everything from this in the locker room, or he's not seeing it on the field, maybe he's not practicing well. I mean, I don't know, whatever it is. But I don't, at this point, though, and I talked about it leading up to this game as well, is like, if he's not active this week, I don't care what they do, you got to get somebody else in the building. And look, they might be Malik Davis. Look, I'll take Malik Davis off the practice squad as a call-up.
Right.
Or you go add a guy or something. And no, look, I think Sanders averaged over 4 yards per carry yesterday. You know, 9 carries for him, 10 for Williams. But you got to have something else in that room, because that Tim's not going to be able to carry you the entire way.
Right.
You know, if you're going to refuse to run Hunter Lipke and you're going to continuously be a crash test dummy, keep getting your wide receivers hurt because you're using them at the running back position, and you're not going to activate Blue. I understand Mop is maybe 2 weeks away, right? He'll miss this week. We'll see where the shoulder is, and then maybe he comes back and we look at it from that standpoint. But moving forward, you just, whether it's Malik Davis or adding another piece, you have to do something for the running back room. It can't be just those 2 guys the rest of the way.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And it's like, I don't know, because a lot of people are like, oh, Miles is playing okay, right? But I'm tired of just okay, Knicks. I'm just tired of like, I mean, if we're going to be honest, let's be fair, right? He's playing okay, but it's not a threat, right? We need, especially with CeeDee Lamb going to miss some weeks, right? You need a guy that's an actual threat, and as some of the faults that Jaden Blue does have, right? Sometimes his vision a little clunky. He has the fumbling issues, right? But let's not get it mistaken. This kid is a threat in open space, and he can make things happen. And he's a good, reliable pass catcher as well. So it's like it's another wrinkle to your offense you can have. And for me personally, I know Law's been kind of talking about this as well, and Nick's been kind of talking about this on the back channels. It's funny how it's starting to come to the surface now. Out of your entire draft class, you had 2 of your draft picks actually active. That's wild. And it's not like it's not like
the Toya. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
I'm gonna say it's not like we're loaded with a bunch of free agents on our roster, So So yeah.
The Toya Mozzie thing was a head scratcher for me. I'm like, okay, right. Toya really kind of did a better job in week 2, seeing some things come along, and then boom, just Mozzie out of that. That was really surprising. Mm-hmm. And great point as well too about him being active before blue. Then you get over to, and then you got the injury, right? The injury to Rebel and the injury to Maffa. So that's not helping you now. But guess what? Now your guy Booker's going to be injured, right? And man, just how he's taking care of business. Now he's hurt. Well, guess what? Well, now next week you're going to have maybe just one guy possibly active. That's it from your whole draft class. Right. Not great.
You cut one. You cut Tommy King Basote.
Yeah.
Johnny Ojolari, he was inactive. Shamar James inactive. Jaden Blue inactive.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, bro.
Toya inactive. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So we're
tough sled.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, y'all. It doesn't look good from top to bottom right now, and it's going to be a hard mountain to overcome. And I feel like the only person that could overcome it was Dak Prescott, but without CeeDee Lamb, you're going to be limited. So, I know asking the question about TJ Bassett, right guard, I kind of think that will probably be unless they get
Nate Thomas, maybe.
Yeah, they might.
Although Nate Thomas might be taking a tackle spot soon.
And honestly, while we're kind of in this, because I mean, granted, it's Green Bay, right? So we got Green Bay, but then we'll have that patch where it's the Jets and also the Panthers, right?
Right.
I would strongly start evaluating right now. I would strongly start evaluating to see what I got before things really ramp up. And listen, y'all, I know he's in his second year. I know he's a first-round draft pick. The Tyler Guyton experiment for me is starting to wear just a little thin, right? It's wear a little thin, right? Because you're still seeing some of the same issues that was last year, right? You're seeing the penalties. You're seeing the mental lapses. You're seeing the improper hand placement. You're seeing sometimes he gets lost a little bit. So you're still seeing that carry over. I'm not seeing improvement, which I start to get concerned. You know what I'm saying? So, granted, he didn't have a camp because he had the injury, but hey, that's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? We got games to play for. So if Mike Thomas goes to tackle, Smith, Hoffman, maybe Bass, or they might try to get a little creative there at the right guard. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But then you have issues on the other side with Terrence. But another issue for me, to be honest with you, Knicks, and I might have to wear a little egg on my face because I thought this was going to be the year.
Okay.
Jake Ferguson don't look right to me, y'all.
You mean looking like late career Witten?
Yeah, man. He looked.
How many catches? How many yards was that? 13 for. Yeah.
I was just like, but even in other games, I'm just like the thing that y'all know me because I love tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Pitch train, the pitch train. But I love tight ends that have some wiggle. They have some wiggle. They can get out of open space. They can make people miss. And you saw that, right? You saw the Ferg leap. You saw, once Ferg got the ball in his hands, he could make people miss and get upfield. And you saw him playing with fire and passion and tenacity. Is like, okay, that's what I've been missing in Dallas. And now it's just, he is just a guy that, he's just out there. So what is your thoughts on Jake? Because Stargazer, I guess this never got across my radar, right? But I saw the article about his concussion and that he was crying in the middle of the night and that, he really contemplated.
It was bad. The concussion was bad last year for sure. I had some conversations with some people towards the last year, and it was very bad for them.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
Had opportunity. Yeah, he did a football clinic over here, football camp over here, watching my godson too. I had a chance to talk with him over here in Spring Hill, Lubbock, Texas. And man, he was great, phenomenal. He delivered a great message to the kids. said, man, he feels 100% better from where he was last year. I mean, what else is he going to say, though, right, in real time? I understand.
Right.
And we kind of get into what Shotty said. Some of the limitations on him last year was maybe more so on him and some of the things they were trying to do with the offense last year. Well, maybe that's still kind of going on right now, Shotty. I don't know. He's kind of just built in. If it ain't there, I'm underneath kind of thing. But then there was some other things that kind of happened there as well. Because we kind of talk about some of the drops in the first 2 games. Clean that up, right? But then even like I saw, like trying to look downfield, and you know, he came across for a block. There's somebody there. He just kind of floats out there, and the next, oh yeah, bet, let me just hit him. And like he was surprised he got the ball.
Right.
And I was like, that's definitely not him. Right. He's definitely not in that realm of that passiveness. Like, okay, there's nobody to block. I kind of floated 6 yards down the field. Oh no, the ball's on me. And I was kind of surprised by that from him. I was like, that to me, right then and there during the Bears, I was like, man, that's just not Fergie. That's different. And that caught me off guard.
Yeah, it just feels like a shell of Fergie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was hitting a shot that was putting the battery in his back or something. I don't know. But it's just like you don't see it. Like, and it hit me yesterday. Someone was like, bro, Ferg hasn't had an impactful game since the Green Bay loss. I'm like, damn, bro, you're actually right. Like that was his last.
Well, as a force multiplier, I mean, it was negative in Philly with the drop, but you know,
right. He had an impact, all right. But see now, knowing what we're saying about the the concussions and stuff is probably why he was a little timid in traffic, right? And it's like okay, it makes sense. So. If we can't get Ferg back, I need the seam guy, bro. I need the separation in the seam, and I need some of that. So it's my dog Lennox in the building, man. But yeah, I need that back, because if not, we paid him, and not to start getting to that conversation, but it's like okay, you paid 2 players, Jerry Wayne Jones, off probably the worst producing season, then you have Deron Bland go out again, and you have Jake Ferguson kind of looking like, I don't know. Because there's some, I know you said did a mock draft. Y'all know me, I always keep a clip when it comes to tight ends. And there's a guy out of Oregon right now, I'm ready to risk it off, but they're not going to.
I mean, I'll tell you what, look, the Schoonmaker project is over for me.
Right.
And I don't think it's even close. Like it should be Spanford immediately the rest of the way over him. I just too much on the field. I almost said too much on the field. Just watching him on the field, like it's night and day. Like I don't even have to get to the film. Like just on broadcast view, it's night and day what Ford's bringing to the table over Schoon.
And so and the crazy part, Schoon and Ferg are moving at the same speed. It's just because it's not like Ferg is moving, and Ferg's a much better blocker, right? He has a much better feel for the game, right, than Schoon. But the Schoon thing, think it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
Sam Williams, think it's time to let it go. Like it just I get it, right? There were 2nd round picks, but it's just not turning for me. And don't wish these guys any ill will, but just for what the Dallas Cowboys are trying to do, and where I think that we need to head. There is no way that Schoonmaker should be getting reps over Brevin Spanford. Honestly, Schoonmaker shouldn't be getting reps at tight end position over Hunter Lipke. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother topic, because I felt like if you were able to get Hunter the ball in space, he can do some things. And it hurts me sitting back seeing the Giants use Cam Scatterbo. We got one of those right here.
Right. Yeah. It's like, all right.
We got one of those right here. So it just hasn't come to utilization. Now, with the absence of CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Booker's out, Knicks. Defenses, I don't know. I might be your defensive captain out there on Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? Me and Knicks will definitely be in the building. So me and Knicks had this whole thing like, oh, man, we're going to be at the game Sunday night. We're going to be in the same section. We're going to be standing up and repping. The Packers said, man, we're going to sit y'all asses down.
Hey, though, it's house money. We can't lose, Tuck. It's house money. Ain't no way we're supposed to win this thing, so whatever.
They going to get us on cam, and my dog Lennox, they going to get us on cam on Sunday. I'm going to be sitting down. Nick's going to be sitting down. Nick and Tuck wasn't standing up repping, man. Like, hey, man, Jordan Love said, sit y'all asses down, man. But the defense looking lethargic, injuries on the offense. How can this offense still kind of carry this Dallas Cowboys team for the next 3 to 4 weeks until we can get healthy again?
It's funny, you got to punch it in and not kick field goals. That's number one, right? Because the Cowboys were able to get it back to 14-14 and then miss some opportunities there, obviously. But you know what killed them? The third quarter drive, right? What was that? 18, 19 plays,
Right.
like 10 plus minutes.
Right.
They ran the ball how many times straight, whatever the case. And the defense had to be able to get a stop somewhere. You know, that obviously was a backbreaker in the game. But offensively, you got to stop scoring field goals. Like, we got time for the field goal stuff because you know what this defense is doing right now.
Right.
Until this defense is going to show and prove better, then it's got to be almost 4-down territory to a certain extent, right? And more urgency coming up here. We got to go get 6 and not 3. I think that's where they can help themselves for sure. You know, obviously you get it back to 14-14, the 2-point conversion. You feel pretty good about that. But then you just look, untimely penalties once again into the red zone that cost you a little bit here. Our guy doesn't catch the ball there. He tips off the hands. George GP, now it's an interception. Williams first drive, this points off the board, right? Williams, gets it taken away from the back. So you kind of look at those 2 drives alone. At worst, should have been 6 points, 2 field goals. But, I bet you're talking about 14 points when you look at the score. Now you're talking 31-28. The offense has to be a clean operation.
Right.
They don't have any leeway, unfortunately, of doing those things. If they're going to have turnovers and settle for 3, the way this thing is built right now, the Cowboys are going to more times than not get beat for how this defense is playing if the offense operates over. So it's got to be clean operations over there on that side. No silly turnovers. And both of those were silly turnovers.
Right.
Easy catch drop for a pick, and then the get stripped from behind joint 2. Now I know the fourth down interception in the end zone. The Milton throws another interception. Right. The game was kind of where it was at that point. Believe me,
interception in the fourth quarter, bro.
3 turnovers. You got to play almost mistake-free football for this offense to be able to carry this defense.
Yeah, I agree. And now we're seeing the conversation because we've been hearing it, right? Javonte Williams, who I feel like has been running great, right? I like the wrinkles we've been seeing in the run game with Clayton Adams and also Brian Schottenheimer. Do we think this is a situation where the run game could carry us for a little bit? I
don't disagree with stuff whenever they're getting, it's like
yes originally until you told me Tyler Booker's out there. I'm like, well, shit, there goes that idea.
Yeah, but you had, 10 for 76, pretty good, huh? And then 9 for like 50 or something like that for which it's pretty good. But the problem is the defense has given up points for the most part at a high clip.
Right.
It's hard to stick in the running game at times, but you have to figure some things out, And again, this is why I wanted an extra guy in the room because I feel like maybe you can get to that, but you need an extra guy in the room so we're not running our wide receivers, Turpin, Lamb, getting hurt. And if you could get another guy in that room, then I think you could lean even more onto the run game, what they've shown so far. Now, again, guidance out, where's that going to be at? But, you have to take for what it's worth, right? And we believed in the scheme, right? We talked about Clayton Adams' scheme. I think we have seen that from him and that scheme come along. So I think he can scheme it up even with the Booker out of there. But you got to be able to get those reps, and you got to be able to. But that's Hunter Lipke getting Blue active, or here comes Maffa back, and make sure we got 3 guys in there to get after it.
Yeah, 1,000%. I would if it's me going to Green Bay, and we'll kind of get into. I'm not doing no scouting report because last time I did a scouting report versus Green Bay, they ignored the whole thing, and we still got punched in the mouth, right? But I am going to slow this game down, muddy it up, and play dirty, grimy football. I'm gonna give you a lot of Javonte Williams. I'm gonna give Mike a lot of Hunter Lupke. Miles, I'm throwing it at him, right? And then quick slants to Pickens, get him the ball in space, right? Let him be aggressive, be a physical specimen. Jake Ferguson, wake up. I need you to wake up. I need you to wake up.
Let's go.
Yeah, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I need you, dog. I need you, Ferg, to go back, right? So if I gotta go bring, if I gotta go bring, some of the old clips up of you doing the whack-a-mole and all that stuff, remind you who you used to be, right? I'm gonna do it, right? But that's what we need. But like you said, the hard part is it's hard to play time of. We've been winning time of possession because teams have just been score on that damn quick, right? And it's hard to stay in the run game and play that game when I know I can just drop back and play square on you, and I'm going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? It reminds me of I quit playing college football 26 because I was so tired of playing LSU and getting bombed on with all that 99 speed. Then I get to the Dallas Cowboys, and it feels exactly like it, where people's going to just drop back and press square. Damn, so I kind of feel like that. Now, a draft question, you know what I'm saying, Thomas, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never going to turn away or shy away from a draft question.
Yeah, what we got?
Tuck and Knicks, if season gets washed and we have a 10-11 pick, do you boys trade up for the likes of Caleb Downs or no? I don't know. Last night I did 8 mocks and Caleb Downs on PFF went number 1 no matter what setting I adjusted it to. Like he was just, I'm like, bro, I can't, and I had us picking at 9. I moved us up to 9.
Yeah.
I tried moving us up to 5. He kept going number 1 every damn time. I was like, there ain't no workaround. Would I trade up to go get a Caleb Downs? Absolutely. Will the Cowboys do it? Probably not. Trading up is not their moniker. And for a safety, even though I think he's more than a safety, we'll get to that all off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would, man. So, I know you really haven't gotten too deep into the draft, but we'll just talk from a position standpoint. Do you think that it's going to be a defensive-focused draft, kind of like we had in 2021 with the Micah draft, or you still think offense is on the table when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys?
We might get a little bit of another first-round offensive lineman, and then we'll do a lot of defensive work afterwards.
I mean,
it might be an offensive tackle time. I don't know.
Cowboys fans are going to kill me if I do that Caden Proctor out of Alabama film session, but
yeah. But I would, yeah. Look, man, Downs. Yeah, man, I would be ecstatic if we were to land a player like Downs. I think he's one of them ones for sure, and it's a guy that we haven't had in our safety room since Darren Woodson. I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic or anything else. Like I think he's that type of player.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that kid. Yeah, I would move up for him for sure. Look at Babe's another one, Linux. You already know.
Look at Linux being a little sellout, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man.
You know what the deal is.
As bad as our defense is looking right now, man, you can't have no allegiances, man. So if I gotta get a Miami guy to come help this defense, you know what I'm saying, by any means, man. You know what I'm saying? By all means, come and help us. But I know people were talking about Ruben Baines earlier today, but I'm just like, that says a lot when you spent 3 second-round picks on edges. You brought in 2 free agents on edges, and now you want to spend, whether you're pro Micah Parsons or not, right? The one thing you should have really did is if you knew that you were going to be losing Micah Parsons, you should have held on to D-Law, right? Losing both of those guys has really hurt us. If you knew, like, all right, man, it might be an idea where it's like we're not going to sign Micah, then you should have made D-Law a priority. I feel like losing both of those guys is really hurt because you didn't lose just 2 edges. You lost 2 guys who are high motor guys, but also high quality leadership guys, depending on how you want to define leadership. So, so Michael Taffe from Texas, safety. Yeah, I mean, we'll trust me, Cowboys Nation. We'll have all the time in the world to get to draft talk.
I got even my mock draft today, Lathan. I got even the mock draft. I slid old Taffy in there, a little Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy. You know, but at this point, man, I might. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We're not gonna do no mock today live. No, sir. This is all about the Cowboys. I feel you, man. I just feel like we talked about this last night before I let you go, Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Over and under for the season win total. Has your perception changed? Right,
I has to now. Yeah.
It just doesn't feel. I know when Vegas set the line at 7.5, I was just like, oh, that's way too low. But now I'm like, shit, Vegas might do something.
I mean, these days, they had the script on the injuries and we didn't. Maybe that's what it was.
Or shit, did they have Matt Eberflus's playbook or whatever? So
right, yeah, it's going to be. Again, you're going to learn a lot about this coaching staff.
Right.
We're about to learn a lot about this coaching staff. And, the thing that everyone kept running with so much, and I had enough space, we had to talk about it, and I tried to set in the parameters, is the idea of culture, and building a culture and what they want to do. You got to see who buys into them. You got to set the standard. You have to build the foundation. This isn't a thing that you come in and change in a month. It's not a thing that changes in 2 months. It doesn't change in 3 months.
Right.
You got to see and identify. Look, and we know this. We got a history of, right? Michael Irvin, whenever Jimmy Johnson pulled up, hey, here's the list. Get these guys up out of here.
Right.
It takes time, and everybody was excited. And I understand. I already say, man, look, it's the honeymoon season, right? Okay, you got married, honeymoon. You ain't had the first argument, nothing. Then you do have the first argument. Okay, it's real life. Okay, well, you're in the season now. You do get punched in the mouth. Where is it? Now we're going to find out how much that culture's talking, what they're trying to do, and how they're trying to get this thing built in the right direction here with Shotty them. We're going to find a lot about it now, and who's about it and who's not about it.
Right.
And this is what the moments you're looking for and how you want to trend forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it interesting to see from that standpoint. I know my guy KG texts me. He's like, see it week 3 weeks in, the season's already over. I said, but there's a lot to learn here. Let's wait and see. We're still standing. I'm not putting the season out to pasture yet. But boy, it's some choppy waters early for this new coaching staff where this thing is.
Oh yeah. And I think for me personally, that has been my biggest frustration. And not even what happened yesterday, right? Even going back to the Giants game, where I can sit back and say we played pretty damn good versus Philly. We should have won that game. But I just felt we were going to drop the ball versus the Giants and not handle an opponent that we are clearly better than like we should. And when I sat back and watched the struggle, get out to a slow start, it just felt it's the same old. And I've been saying this. If I was an AI and put Mike McCarthy on the sidelines yesterday, y'all wouldn't have known the difference. It felt just the same old, right? Just getting off to a slow starts, defense lack of communication, coach didn't have no energy. There was no one being held responsible on the sideline. It was just the same old Dallas Cowboys show with just new characters, So it's just like that's my biggest frustration. It's like, all right, Shotty, we heard energy and discipline, fire and competitive drive. Bro, go talk to these people over here who are clearly struggling. Like, but it's just like, you're just going to do my play sheet, do my call. Like, you should have went over after that flea flicker and just ripped into your team. Ripped in your, right? So where was the where was the passion? Where was the emotion? Y'all were going out there and letting Dennis Allen once again and also Ben Johnson just disrespect you, and there was no fight. There was no, until Pickens threw the helmet. But where was it, right? So I think those are the things that I really want to see is like, I want to see a change, right? I want to see a change, and I get it, right? Oh, we motion more time. Like, okay, that's cute, right? I get that, right? I get some of the run scheme things with the gap blocking. Okay, cool. But I want to see something culturally different, and we get to sit back and see because he said he's making changes offensively and defensively. So let's see. If he benches Tyler Guyton and puts in Nate Thomas, that will feel kind of new, even though Mike McCarthy did the same thing, right? So it's like, all right, but I want to see some of those things. Like, okay, this is what Shotty's doing, and this is what he's.
What have they been still?
I'd be for it.
Yeah.
I honestly, bitching Steele would mean a lot more than bitching Tyler Guyton. Bitching Tyler Guyton is eating. Like I said, Mike McCarthy is doing it last year, right?
Yeah.
But if you bench a guy who was your veteran, quote unquote, leader of the offensive line, your paid guy of the offensive line before Tyler Smith, right? That would send a message, right? And some of these other guys, right? Sam got pulled out a little bit. Hell, I'm cool with them. That's my bro, whatever I'm saying. But if you say no, Trayvon, come have a seat by me. Come have a seat by me, right? Those messages have to get out, right? You can't sit back and talk about Maris isn't being consistent when I'm not seeing Donovan be consistent. I'm not seeing a lot of consistency across the board. So you got to hold everybody by the same standard. So we'll sit back and see. But yeah, if you go ahead and just bench Terrence Steele and say, all right, come sit by me for a little bit, I'm all for it. I am not the one to baby players and like, oh, why you're doing that, right? But something has to give. Something has to give, and I think that we need to see a philosophical change. I'm about to butcher that word. Philosophical change in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really want to see when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer. But like you said, honeymoon phase is over. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now she's bitching about the dishes and taking out the trash and taking the kids to practice. It's real right now. It's real right now. Let's see how much you really love it, man. So my dog Nix, man, appreciate you for coming on. For everyone for the first time, bro, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Your guy Nick's on all things. I'm trying to do a little TikTok thing, but over there on the X Twitter, or the mom called Twitter, I'm calling it Twitter. Your guy Nick's underscores there. Your guy Nick's over on TikTok, and then As the Star Turns over there on YouTube. Excuse me, YouTube. It might be underneath Your Guy Nick's. You can find it probably either way. Is where it's at, man. So appreciate you, brother. Can't wait for Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Hey, we gonna have, at least until kickoff.
We gonna have fun regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, if we get a dog walk, we're gonna just go out to the parking lot, man. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I'll be out there. I'm at AT&T Stadium. I get in Sunday mornings. I gotta stay because my wife has work. But I get there Sunday mornings. I'm gonna be out the stadium. My guy Nick's is gonna be out there. I know my dog Matt Lennox is going to be out there. Salute to my guy Mike Tagg, Kelly K9. They are hosting the Cowboys Cave tailgate out there. They're going to be live and lit all day. And lit's an understatement, especially when it comes to Kelly. It's an understatement.
I'll be in the building Saturday. Y'all holler at me.
It's going to be an understatement when it comes to Kelly. Is lit's understatement. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be out there, but I'm going to be, I'm going to be zen-like. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be cool out there, relaxing.
Okay.
But because it's hard. Because, Nix, you know me, right? There's certain games I can sit back and have fun and kind of just drink and just, But this game, bro, I want blood versus the Packers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It was different. It was like the Giants or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, this game, bro, the Giants the Packers last time I played them, y'all embarrassed me. Y'all just stole my edge rusher right under my nose. I gotta get it back in blood versus Green Bay.
I feel that.
So I'm gonna be locked in. But for everyone to be out there,
show you right, JV. Man, show you right.
Show you right. Elijah said I'm gonna be there Friday. It's my birthday on Sunday. All right, Elijah, man, pull up. So we'll be out there on the corner. Oh, Lois, we'll be out there on the corner of Lot 10. Across from the Walmart area. If you guys
Randall Hill and whatever the other road is.
Yeah, I forgot, man. But I'll definitely be out there. Like I said, I get in Sunday morning and then I'll be out there, man. So hope to meet all of y'all. We gonna vibe and party regardless. And like I said, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If we gotta take a walk on halftime, we'll take a walk at halftime. So we appreciate you all for tuning in. For those of you seeing the channel for the first time, CFO Sports, go ahead, give us a like and subscribe, comment below. We got a lot of film to talk about, Cowboys related, college related. Draft season's coming up for some people, right? So you definitely want to tune in, you know what I'm saying? You want to tune into that. So there, let's discuss the address: Randall Mill and Collins, across from the gas station.
There it is.
Across from the gas station, and then also follow me on TikTok. I'm using it a little bit more. You gotta stay on me.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, also Twitter. My @ is @jtuck151. So we appreciate you all. We want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And Cowboys Nation, let's continue to fight. We're going to have to figure this all out together. Peace.